What's up everybody, welcome back to Cadillac Cartoons, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a marker review today. So as you guys know, this COVID-19 is still out and about, and so stores are slowly beginning to open. Like Five Below, I went to Five Below the other day because it opened not too long ago, and I saw a pack of these markers, a pack of dual-ended art markers, and I said, why not give these a try? So the thing that confused me is the packaging on it, because it says art markers, and as you guys know, art markers like these will be like, I mean, you guys will automatically know that they're alcohol based because they look like they're alcohol based, because water based markers don't come looking like this. And also it came with 10 markers, by the way. It also has a water based drawing on the box, and on the back of it, it says it's water based. So I don't know if it's a packaging flaw or the fact that they think they're water markers, but I just want to give these a go to see for myself. And yeah, these markers, they all have the same labeling, because like I don't know what's up with these markers and having like the same labeling, like 11 carmine, 23 orange, 32 deep yellow, 46 vivid green. I mean, that's the way you can tell markers like these are cheap, because the way they label these kinds of markers. So that's how you know they're cheap. But well, a $5 pack of 10 markers, I just want to get these a go to see for myself if they live up to my standards, and see if I can use them in my drawings in the future. So let's give them a go. And while making this drawing, I'll mainly focus on the marker's performance and not much of like the shape of the barrel and like the color scheme. But I will talk about the color scheme a little bit, but I won't go too much into that, because my main preference is how the markers perform on the paper and in the drawing. So overall, I'm trying to see if I can use them later on for my drawings in the future, and see if they really stand out against other alcohol markers, other cheaper brands that have lesser quality than these guys. So let's get it.
Kane is in the building, nigga.
So overall, not a bad choice of colors, but as I said earlier, these are probably colors I already have in terms of like cheap markers. But to be honest, they don't look like water-based markers to me. They look alcohol-based, and believe me, alcohol-based markers are not cheap. So it was definitely a bargain, and definitely worth spending $5 on. But let's give these markers a go in a drawing and see how they turn out. So the drawing you see here, I did in my sketchbook a couple weeks ago, and I decided to color that with these markers, because I haven't colored it with my Copic markers yet. So I figured, why not use it for this marker review. So that's the reason I chose this drawing, and it was just something random I drew because I had kind of like a artist block or drawings block, whatever it's called. It's something where you don't have an idea for a drawing, and that's what I've been struggling with lately. So if I haven't been drawing for a while, then that's probably why, because I don't always get ideas like offhand for an illustration, because with my illustrations I'm trying to tell a story with them, and it's hard to kind of tell a story with just a character or just two characters doing this and that. But I mean, I suppose it could make the viewer stand out to that art. Sorry, I suppose it could like stand out to my viewers, but like I like to make illustrations that actually tell a story, and I actually kind of do want to write a story with like a series of illustrations, like a graphic novel kind of. So I was going to do that in the long term, but that's not what this is about. But the drawing here, like I said, I did in my sketchbook, but and also I had only 10 colors, and I did need a black, but a black didn't come with this set. So I had to work with like a dark color, and the darkest color I had was like this dark blue. I don't know if you can Yeah. And so what I did was I laid down the base color and everything, and I didn't test none of this stuff out before going into the drawing, which was me being dumb again. And what I did was I laid down some flat color in each part of the illustration, and then I wanted to see if these markers would layer. So I tried. So after I laid down the flat color, I let it dry for a little bit, and then I went back in with the same colored marker and tried to do some shading with it, because like I said, I don't have a black, but I have a whole like a couple dark colors that I could work with, but I chose not to because I didn't want the drawing to get like messed up. So with that, they actually layer quite well, at least the browns do. So I got some browns in there. The blues don't, at least the light blue, they don't layer as much, but you can see it a little bit, but you won't be able to see it from the what's it called, whatever. But yeah, I didn't have a black, so I couldn't color the black part of this guy's shirt. I said this guy, but it's me. But yeah, and what I did for the eyes, I colored it in black for the flat color, and then I added a dark blue to it to darken that color, and then I added another layer of brown marker to get that brown back in place, because when I added the blue ink tried to stay in place of that eye, and I didn't want it to be. So what I did was I put another layer of brown on there so it can be brown. And then and I didn't have any other skin tone other than brown. So what I did was I turned this girl in the background, I turned her into like an alien type character, and I made her blue. I was gonna make her green, but I said nah, I didn't want to make her look like she was a zombie. So that's why I went with blue. And yeah, and she had pink hair to make it look kind of like eccentric a little bit, or that she had like some type of disease that made her blue, or something like that. And then yeah, and then the color I haven't used until I got there was green, so I wanted to try using a green for the shirt, but I did happen to use yellow on both our bracelets, so that's what I did. And I didn't happen to use orange either, so I used it for the backpack. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, what I did for the red was I didn't have anything to shade of red, and I didn't want to use purple because that's one of the other dark colors that I had. So what I did was I used a brown, because if you shade a red, it'll kind of be like a brownish color. So and that was my chance for me to try out if these markers would blend, because a red kind of blending with a brown is kind of like they don't have the same value, but it kind of would blend, because if you shade a red, it'll kind of turn out a little like a brown. So yeah, like I said, it would be my chance to try out some blending. And I don't know if it's the paper that I'm using. I'm using Cardstock, by the way. I tried to blend there, but these are cheap markers. They didn't come with a brush tip as usual. So what I did was I tried my best to get some blending in, because there was lots of red all over the drawing. But the greens, they blend fairly well, because the greens I have, one of them is 46 and one of them was 43. I used 46 for the base color and 43 to shade, and they have almost the same value. They have the same hue, but not the same value. But the values are kind of close, which makes it a little bit easier to blend. And they blend at least a little. They blend so satisfactory. Like, I could even go darker with that green if I wanted to, but I don't have a darker color, so I had to work with a couple of greens. But yeah, I'm super surprised at how those greens blended. But yeah, that's what I really like about that. And then ain't nothing else to talk about the drawing. Oh, and in the back it kind of looks like a wall, because you see a line in the back. That was supposed to be like a scene with like a wall in the back and then the floor, which was to me boring after I made the drawing. So what I did was I since I didn't use the yellow a lot, and I don't use yellow in my drawings regardless. So what I did was I took my my old CD and I traced a yellow circle around the back to make it look like a sun. I don't know why, but that's what I did. Oh, that kind of makes sense because with the sun in the back, the light is coming from the back, and then the shading will be in the front. So that kind of does make sense because the shading is in the back, and then the sun is in the back. I said shading in the back, did I? So the shading will be in the front, so you'll be seeing a lot of shading in the front, and then the light is in the back. So when the light shines upon the characters, most of the dark spots will be in the back. Okay, that makes much more sense. So that's what I did. I don't know. I just consider the sun because I don't know. I didn't use yellow in the drawing a lot, so I decided to make it yellow in the back. I didn't use orange either, but I could have. But that would kind of be also the same thing, so it didn't really matter at the end. But I didn't really think about it being a sun until just now as I'm making the voiceover. So, and it kind of does make sense for the drawing itself. So, it kind of like stands out, makes sense. But, yeah, nothing else to talk about the drawing. But I hope you do like it. But to me, I'll give it like a 50%, like a 5 out of 10. Because it could be the fact that I went outside the lines a couple times in the drawing. But I'm just gonna let that get ahead of me. I don't know why, but why the is this snake in here? It's the markers. They have an odor. Alcohol-based markers do have an odor, so it must be these. Cause I just cleaned in here, so it must be these. It must be these cheap markers. They do have an odor. I mean. Yeah, so if you want to get these markers, go on ahead. Like I said, link in the description. But anyways, if you like the video, give it a like and a comment, and let me know if you want me to do any marker reviews in the future. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video.